result of Green Revolution in India, there was an increase in sugarcane production and its byproduct molasses. It was this molasses which was diverted in making arrack. It is very interesting that at that time, the whole process cost the government 1 rupee per liter. And by the time it reached the consumer, it would cost 96 rupees per liter. Earlier there was a culture that both men and women would work throughout the day. In the evening, they would go to something called a Sara compound where they would have their liquor and come back home. But through a program called Varun Vahini, you had this arrack which was packeted into sachets and it would reach the doorstep of these families. A number of men started drinking a lot and it really eroded a lot of family economy and it led to so much of violence. Domestic violence really increased at this time. For the first time, this was a movement which articulated a very private family violence into a public forum. The women demanded, they said, in our villages, there is no drinking water. Drinking water comes once in 2 days, but liquor is supplied 3 times a day. Our village does not have roads, it does not have good schools, but we have so many liquor shops because the government is getting revenue out of it. The liquor barons are also getting revenue out of it. And they just had a simple demand: no selling of liquor in our villages. And this really created a large scale movement. And what was interesting is that there was no organized leadership which came about. Women took action on the spot. Women would go move around. They would tie chili powder in their pallus. They would tie stones, and when they were going to destroy the arrack sachets, they would just, open their pallus and do this. But what is important is a lot of women got a sense of power with a lot of support from other women. See, when women were going on agitation, they would go on dharna. A woman who had small children, if her child was 4 or 5 months old, she stayed back. The other women would leave their children with her and they would go and join the protest. Women did not know how to read and write. They would ask their children to write postcards and drop to the chief minister or the prime minister saying, please ban arrack. The women used a lot of cultural forms also to propagate the message of drinking. A number of plays which were written in the post-independence period were revived. Women composed lullabies using these for the government. They were referring to the government as Sara Sarkar, a government that cheats. So they were using different kinds of methods, different kinds of folk forms were also used, whether it is Bura Katha, Hari Katha, Ogu Katha, Yakshagana. They employed all these to spread their message and fight against liquor.